Oh man, it is showtime. We're live right now.
God damn it, we're down to 2 Musketeers. This fucking tariff, man. The budget cuts us too deep.
Oh man,
We're down 2 white dudes here. It's down to one white guy, one Chinese guy again. Fuck.
and those were the two white guys everybody liked the most.
I know. Crap. Sorry we haven't been streaming in a while, guys. We've all been super duper busy, and honestly, we're all been kind of stressed out with the whole tariff situation because that will affect our community quite a lot.
Yeah.
If you guys have started buying stuff on Alley, yesterday was pretty much D-Day. So if your stuff did not get past customs on the 1st, well, now it's going to be hit with that 145% or 245, depending on category, tariff. It is getting hit. It's not even a joke anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's not a joke by any means at all. It's happening. It's happening like now. Did you have you seen the reports related to the ports?
Which ones? The
all
Chinese ports or the American ports?
Well, the American
USB ports.
The American ports.
Where nothing's coming in, where 35% less is coming in?
Yeah, nothing's coming in.
Mm-hmm.
And the China ports are all stacked up with the stuff that's supposed to come over here, but they're not.
Out.
Yeah, nothing's going out. So the ports are empty.
So my friends who are importing other stuff, not arcade related, they import like, they export quartz. They export kitchen countertop raw material.
Okay.
Slabs that they send out to those contractors who then cut them and design them into your beautiful kitchen countertop stuff. And every single order just got canceled because who's gonna dare to import it at a 25% tax from Taiwan, or even worse from China? It's just,
man. You got to think that all of the countertop places are going to be affected by that then too.
All material will be affected except maybe steel. Maybe.
Man. Well, steel comes from Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of it comes from Canada, not
paused right now. I think we still have a few days left on the pause.
The Canada pause, because they completely pause all the tariffs on Canada, right? Because there's
not
what hasn't gone up.
The big one, the reciprocal tariffs, they paused, I think.
Right. What hasn't gone up? I don't remember. I think they hit the tariff on the electricity. Because remember I showed you my electric bill, how insane that was?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think the tariff on electricity is going on here in New York State because, look, guys, I got a $750 electric bill for 1 month.
Yeah, I don't know what you were doing. Mine is still subsidized, so mine was like 40. So
listen, my vibrator is running on batteries, not plugged into the wall, so
it's cheaper at this point.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's USB chargeable. Fuck.
Better tread lightly, Joel. What's up, Artemis?
Oh, hey, how come I can't see the
Can't see the chat?
Oh no, I'm sorry, I have it on the private chat. I see it. All right. Hey, Artemis, wow. Oh, $1.99 just for that, really?
I thought I had monetization off, but thank you for the super chat, Artemis. I really appreciate that.
Thank you very much.
Do you know who Artemis is, Ray?
I know the Greek god of shooting shit.
Right, Artemis, do you want to tell us your real name? I don't remember your real name, but thank you for being part of the chat.
Yeah, there's no way I'll be able to identify you based on that. You got no profile. Your profile picture, it looks like.
Oh no, wait, that's Chi Lion. What am I thinking?
Oh,
yeah. God.
Oh, you didn't tell me that.
I just realized that she's got so many channels. But she's Neon Gaming Bitch, and
I know Neon Gaming Bitch is her. Yeah, that's
obvious. This is her personal searching around channel. And yeah, what's up? Thanks. it's her.
Isn't and you guys all got which arcade did you guys get? The Nova Blast, right?
I ended up getting the Nova Blast. Yes, I got the Nova Blast.
But it's not the full size, it's the half size one, right?
I didn't get the base. I only got the top.
Okay.
And it's absolutely fantastic. I cannot recommend it enough, especially for real arcade PCBs. The fact that we can, most arcades that run JAMA are JAMA Universal, but this thing is pre-built JAMA Universal, and it comes with the kick harnesses for CPS1 and CPS2, and they work on the Killer Instinct PCBs and the Mortal Kombat PCBs. I can at least vouch for the Mortal Kombat PCB, so I wouldn't say it wouldn't work on a Killer Instinct at all, because the kick harness works on it, or works on Mortal Kombat. So it's over there. You guys can't see it. I haven't moved things around yet. I got to get rid of that V pin over here because it's empty now because I took the computer out of that one and put it into the at games, which I financed the at games through their payment program that they have going on. So the Sea of Thieves
Any
things is
interest on that?
no, there's no interest on it at all.
No interest. It's pretty
So it was $600 up front, and then I chose Sea of Thieves because it was the cheapest payment option with an SSF,
What's an
and the
SFF?
payment SSF is surround sound feedback. So
Oh,
surround sound feedback would be when the ball's rolling around or when you're hitting like the bumpers and shit.
hmm
You're gonna get those knocks going on inside the cabinet like a real cabinet would. I would not recommend buying if you're gonna get a Legends. Do not buy it without the SSF. But the Sea of Thieves was the cheapest one that they had for payment plan with the SSF kit. It's $100 a month basically. It's like 97 something, but I rounded up to $100. So I can spare the $100 a month for 12 months.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not
So
too bad. No interest.
no,
No interest is a no brainer these days.
no interest is awesome. What's up, Brady Goat? No interest is awesome on it, so I highly recommend it. I mean, I was completely impressed by the games. Completely impressed by it. The screen on it is fantastic. The controls on it are fantastic. The response time is fantastic. And then when I switched it into OTG mode and I added my virtual pinball PC to it, I was stunned by the screen.
Mm.
I didn't think the 4K screen in 60 hertz was going to look that good, and it's like, it's worth it. But I barely even played my virtual pinball side of it, the VPX. I've been playing the Zen tables on it. I've been trying to conquer Attack from Mars, and Theater of Magic came out the other day. So I was I just started playing Theater of Magic too. But
Okay.
it's awesome. I mean, if you're looking to get a pinball, I would recommend get that. I didn't need a
Yeah,
copy for it, so
I'm
look
not
at
a pinball guy. I got my new by VP arcade, and I love that. I had so much fun modding that one and setting it up, especially with the trackball the way it is now. I'm really enjoying. Silver Strike. Getting that one to work was beautiful.
oh yeah, you got Silver Strike to work. That was amazing.
Yeah, one of my buddies, I can't say who it is. He helped me find a way to make all of those incredible technology games like Golden Golf and Silver Strike, Power Putt portable without having to do that complicated ass SQL server thing that takes like 20 minutes. So yeah, we have it portable now and on a real hap trackball. That feels amazing because you can actually overthrow, you can fuck up, and then it feels like actual bowling, and the graphics are great. You can upscale to 4K now.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's totally. I sent it to you guys. You have it all working, right?
I have it working on my my rig right here in front
Your
of me.
main rig, right?
I haven't put it on an arcade yet, but I will be putting it on an arcade.
Yes.
Not for me, not personally, but like a customer's arcade, I'll throw it in there.
Mhm.
And I like to compensate for people that have been waiting patiently for stuff. I like to do little things like, hey, here's a year of Techno Parrot on me type of thing.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Don't
I
you
like.
have to make a new email for them though?
So I either make a dummy email for
Yeah.
the arcade and I give them the password, or I ask them for their information. Typically, I just make a dummy email and I just like, here's your dummy email for your arcade.
Oh,
and
you
here's the
prepay a
password.
year, right?
Yeah, and I prepay the
that's
year for them.
Okay. Yeah, I'm still on a month by month just in case any weird things happen.
Well, I do that for customers that have been waiting patiently. It's kind of like a thank you in my way. It really is a thank you, actually, because it's there's patience. They're not bitching. I appreciate customers who don't complain, and especially ones that have been waiting a really long time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and customers of mine have been waiting a long time for a lot of things. But so there's ways that I like to.
They already went through
different
two
ways.
presidencies at that point.
Some of them, yeah.
Some of them have gone through two presidents waiting for.
Some of them, yeah, yeah.
Ah, man.
Yeah.
Hey, Dr. Jeffrey, what's up, buddy? Him, I know who he is.
What's up, Dr. Jeff?
Star Trek V pin with SFS. Okay, that I don't know. That's you and Joel's pin.
He's got the Star Trek V-Pen SSF. The Zen games are amazing. They haven't released the Star Wars games yet, but fingers crossed, maybe we get something as a surprise this weekend for May the 4th. I think that they haven't released the Star Wars games into Zen because they're trying to convert them to 4K resolution type of thing. It's probably some kind of coding. Brady Goat. Am I going to leave it as it is? I can't. You already know I can't leave it as it is. So I had a plan. It's not going to happen right away for the games. I wanted to make a topper, and I wanted to do an LCD screen topper for the virtual for VPX side, because obviously this isn't going to work on Zen or on the game side. So in OTG mode, I wanted to make a topper with an LCD screen, and then I wanted to get the Cleveland software design dot matrix and build it into the topper itself, like right above the LCD screen, so that you're getting both the matrix and the LCD screen on the topper. Since there's not really much room to put the dot matrix in between the glass and the screen. And then I was going to get the side rails that go inside it. So like when you shoot the pinball, you get that LED strip that goes straight down it.
Oh, that's cool. That I know.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Dude, that's Vic. Vic does that shit on his. And I'm like, and Cleveland software design.
Oh, yeah. That's the WS 2812 LEDs.
Exactly.
I've been using those. Oh, if you guys have not heard about it yet, look into a Hyper HDR. I'll actually put that in the chat.
Tanner is a customer that has gone through 2 presidencies.
Tanner is. He's close to Brad physically.
He is close to Brad. Tanner's awesome, and then don't forget Joe too. There's Joe that he got the aliens from also.
All right. I might accidentally disconnect myself from the stream because I'm trying to enter the chat as myself. So let's see if that works.
You should be in the chat already, right?
For some reason,
we gotta get you onto the StreamYard so we can stream to your YouTube too.
No need. Okay, there we go. Okay, so look this up, guys. Hyper HDR. This shit is awesome. It lets you make your own ambilight where it syncs everything to your screen with LEDs, like cheap LEDs, like $30 LEDs. You can use this thing now. It's super awesome. I will actually put the link below for you guys. It's free too, which is wonderful. And you don't need any hardware. You just need the LEDs, and you just need like a cheap controller, WLED controller. I'll actually link that for you guys too.
Is this it?
The WLED controller. I was actually gonna make a video on this, but I got so busy.
I meant the Hyper HDR. Is this it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. So
we got an Italian.
Nice.
There he is. Hello. Oh, my shit always does that. I don't know why it does that.
What?
I get slowed down.
It's because the camera is just capturing your beauty.
Probably. Yeah, dude, I got the notification. I was like, well, the kiddo's not bathed or going to bed. So screw it, I'll just come down.
Well, you didn't put your kid to bed yet?
No.
No? You can go take care of your kid, man, before you come back.
No, she's all wired up. She's eating pizza.
Oh, there you go.
Oh,
yeah.
Pizza
gets me excited too.
I know. I can't really do much about it. So I'm like, whatever. She could eat her pizza. I'm not gonna complain.
Wait, does it have pepperoni on it, or is it just cheese?
No, she's a simpleton. 1 slice cut into 3 long.
Yeah,
and that's it. I'm trying to fix my cameras. I know about it.
And just cheese.
Just cheese. That's it.
Just cheese. Does she pull the cheese off first and eat it? And then,
no, luckily no, she does not. No, thank God.
My youngest
lose her Italian card if she did that.
She'll pull the cheese off and eat all the cheese, and then ask for another slice. And it's like, nah, man, you got to eat the rest of that. And then she gets mad.
Oh, I'm the other way around. I like eating the bread.
Yeah, exactly. See. All right, now I think I'm all right. Yeah, okay, I'm okay.
All right, so cool. So this project is called Hyper HDR, right? It can be installed on a TV physically itself. If you can hack your TV, you can use a capture device. But for PC, you don't need shit. You just install the Windows program, set up the number of LEDs you have, and you're done. It's ridiculous. So you just need this $25 controller on Amazon that you can use whatever strips you want, and you're good to go. You have perfect sync for LEDs on your gaming PC.
Is that what you have all around your house right now?
No, only on the cabinet that you built me.
Oh, okay, cool. That's the whole thing with the under. You have under the control.
And then it just mirrors the screen. Because I don't need it to mirror the screen for my whole house. That doesn't make any sense.
What's up, Iz?
Wait, so is this you actually have this little TV box mania?
No, you don't need it. So these are the things that you can install it on. It's PC.
Okay.
You can use a game capture box. You can install on a TV box. If you're using a TV box to play media, or you can use an HDMI video capture card to make a hardware solution, but that's so complicated. Trust me, just use the Windows one, is easier.
Wow.
It's just software based. And if you have a smart TV like an old LG that can be hacked, you can install the software on the TV itself, and the TV will grab it for you. It's insane.
Wow.
So your smart TV actually does all the processing.
Wait, so how does the LED talk to your PC? You have like a USB controller?
The controller I just linked in the chat is the GLED Oppo 30 WS32. It just links wirelessly through Wi-Fi. That's it.
I want to see what this looks like.
Yeah, Joe, can you pull it up? I just put it on our group chat too.
Yeah, group chat. Hang on. Comments.
It's an Amazon.
Oh, that group chat.
Oh, you know what? I can do it. Hold on.
Yeah.
I got it. Hold on.
I'll just share screen.
Yeah, share screen. There you go.
Share screen. What am I doing? It's been so long since I've.
Shout out to Chateau. We got Brady Go. We got Artemis. We got Tanner. We got Messiah. We got Arpeg Electronics in the chat.
You got super chats. You got super chats. That's cool.
Yeah, we're waiting on. There we go. Is that yours?
Yeah. All right. So look, check this out. So this is a very simple controller that doesn't even need like screws anymore. It's clips. So what it is you plug in your voltage here. You can do 5 to 24 volt, and then on the right side you just plug in. You can do 2 sets of strips, and that's it. This will do the dynamic effects. It'll actually like sync, and it can move.
Oh shit!
Solid color. Yeah.
Oh, and you could connect this to WLED.
This is WLED. It uses WLED to communicate with Hyper HDR. So if you don't want to use WLED, it supports like Philips Hues and other crap, but WLED is the easiest thing.
Wow, and this is $30 all in. What's the offer of it?
$30 for the controller,
right?
And you need some strips, right? So I think SK6812 is actually the nicest one. I used the 2812 because that's what I'm used to. But from what I heard, yeah. So this one, it adds a white LED. So these are like $25 to $44, depending on how you want to go about it.
So Ray, dumb it down a little bit for the people that don't understand exactly what you're saying.
So simply put, about 50. Let's call it $75 in. Will cover like a 65-inch TV, and it'll sync up to your screen.
For LED lights.
For LED lights. Here, I'll show you.
Now, what would be the difference between this and buying something already like pre-made?
So a pre-made one is like 250, and you get less density. So that means the number of pixels is significantly less. As such, here, let's see. Yeah. So this guy's using the hardware method. This is a little overkill, but you get a lot more pixels. This guy's just give me a fucking like nice looking video.
Translate for us non.
That's why I asked him.
Here. Okay. There you go. See, that's what we're talking about. There we go.
Yeah, so you have like the reactive LEDs to the TV, correct?
Yeah, and they're pixel perfect. So like whatever is blue is blue, whatever is red is red. There's no bleed over. Okay.
And what is it? Are you doing like the 300 LEDs a minute, a meter or whatever?
It's up to you. You can do whatever.
What do you have?
I have the maximum. I have like 600 something a meter.
Wow.
I love this guy's name. Look at this guy's name. Less than propane.
Less than propane?
He's not selling propane accessories.
I kind of see that as a king of the hill.
Screen, Ray.
Hey guys, I've had my good hand in a cast. Oh wow. Golvi. Golvi is like the commercialized version.
Yeah, Golvi is commercialized version, and then you have all issues with like HDMI syncing, HDMI pass-through. This just captures your screen, which is great.
Yeah, so my VigVP logo back there is WLED.
Yeah.
But I used I had like an ESP8266 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So put the links for that stuff in the private chat.
Be compatible too. You can sync it up to your TV and say, "Oh, that's going to be the bottom row of my LEDs." And whenever your TV has a fight scene, your logo will change to the colors of.
Yeah, that's bougie. That's like extra.
No, that's completely extra. But you know, it's just to show you what's possible.
Yeah, it's true. It's crazy. This whole LED stuff is crazy. There's Hockey Town. Yes.
Yeah. Oh,
What time is your Galaga guy stream?
10:30.
Oh, all right, cool.
Yeah, and hang on. I gotta check my StreamYard to
At
see
least say
if
hi
I.
to Brad before
Oh, is my clock right? It's 8:52.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah,
Oh,
you came in early. We got plenty of time. I gotta see, how do I link? Because I was gonna link Galaga guys.
Hey, there you
go. Oh, wow, we're all here. Okay, cool.
Brad's in the chat now.
Yeah.
Brad's in the chat.
Yo, yo, yo.
It's hard for us to be here at one time.
I didn't think Ray hasn't been answering our group text on Facebook. Like,
I know.
I have been working all day the last 5 days.
I can't lie. I looked at like because I got the notification that YouTube started, and I was like, "Oh, Ray's there." I was like, "Let me just run down real quick right now." I thought Joel was gonna be
food poisoned.
Oh God.
Yeah, I'm so because of the freaking tariff, I'm starting a food truck for people who don't know. Well, not starting, but I'm joining a friend's like a food cart truck business. I will be the chef.
Tariff tacos.
Tariff tacos. Hey, that's sick. That works.
Yeah.
Kind of like COVID tacos.
Everybody, I mean,
my audio is awful. Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you.
Now we can hear better.
You guys all sound like you're coming out of a tin can. This is what I get. I'm setting up. I'm late. I'm late.
It's
I'm
all right.
setting up all my shit because we haven't streamed it forever. And my rig is mobile. So I have to like set it up every time we do this. I'm going to grab a beer.
Go. Everything's going crazy now. Like, so I think somebody wrote there about like, I just put an order through for the Reapers because I have a build coming up.
Mm-hmm.
And like, is it like today where like tariffs and everything is going to go crazy?
They said that they still have U.S. inventory for those. I mean, it's my competition, but yeah, they said they still have a U.S. inventory, so they'll ship from their stock here, obviously, until they run out. Whatever they don't have, I think the Ghost Squad type guns, those will be a problem. Those will be tariffed the crap out of if they don't let you in anymore. Yeah.
Well, look, they're competition, but they're a good competition for you.
Yeah, a lot of
they're putting out a really good product, and you gotta give it to them because they improved on their product from community feedback and me calling them hot garbage.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that. I reached out to them when they sent out the Reapers. I was like, "Hey, man, I'm like really excited about this. I can't wait. Blah blah blah. Hopefully, blah blah blah. All this other stuff." And they're like, "You're the hot garbage guy." I'm like, "I am."
It's true.
Yeah,
they have a lot of ads on Facebook. I keep seeing the same retro shooter ad, like the same one over and over.
Yeah, they did put money into that kind of advertising thing. I don't. So
I've told customers that Gun for IR is the premium product. Like it is the premium light gun for the community. Like if you're going to spend the money on a light gun and you have the money to blow on it, you want the Gun for IR.
Well,
if you're stuck in a budget, then you want to go with the retro shooter, and you won't be disappointed with the retro shooter. But if you spend the money on Gun for IR, you will not be disappointed with Gun for IR by any means either. Especially if you get the Namco guns that are $800-900 each.
Right,
those things. As soon as you pull the trigger on that Namco gun, you know what you spent your money on.
I have a build coming up, and in all honesty, it's the first customer build. So I'm more worried about a customer contacting me like 3 months later and being like, "Hey, my Reaper is like not working now." That's my only fear. And he's the first customer getting a pair. So you
did tell the customer that would fall back upon the Reapers, right? That would fall back upon retro.
Yeah, but that's where, like, in all honesty, that would be something where I would talk to retro shooter about.
Yeah, like, they would probably work with you on that. And
that's why, like, when we do, like, when I get a gun from Ray, it's like, okay, Ray could like fix it. Like, okay, here, Ray, there's an issue, which there's never been an issue. I got guns. The guy that we did 2 years ago, the Rambo, still going. So it's like, that's the only issue I have. And if you do see on retro shooters like Facebook group, you do see people talking about like, hey, my like trigger, it's like squeaky and all that. So that's like,
well, that goes back to the price point on the Reapers. They're a really good deal, but that you're not going to get $1,000 hardware on that. So you get what you pay for, guys. It's really good. It's really good value for what you pay for it.
Yes, it is. I'll admit that. Yeah, but don't expect
what parts are cheap.
Yeah, don't
Well,
not anymore. Once their stock runs out, it won't be cheap to get in if this shit continues.
True. That's very true.
But
I meant like their trigger micro switch is probably a cheaper trigger micro switch as opposed to your micro switch trigger, which is more of a higher end micro switch.
It's actually not the switch; it's the damn
Ah,
spring.
so
you get my point.
Yeah,
See, I don't know. I don't build
for people that are clearly new to the topic in the nitty gritty. Ray, why don't you give us some bullet points of, like I know as a customer, like the various things that I think that make Gunfire a premium product over something like, say, the Sinden, which I would consider a mid-level product now that the Reapers and everything are out. But Ray, lay out the bullet points of what makes the Gunfire a premium build.
All right, give me a second. Let me get a Gunfire.
Well, my argument to that would be is that they were the first one on the market holding it down for the last 4 years with the 4-sensor-based system.
They're the first one. Now, again, this is from a certain point of view. Now, you want to say first one, there was aim track, so we are talking about the same, like they're light guns.
That was sensor bar, though.
Right. So we're talking now. So that for first bullet point of what makes Gunfire a better product, and that's the multiple points of calibration to get the dimension of your screen, which means that unlike the older single sensor, which is actually 2 LEDs on a sensor bar, where you could do a calibration, but then if you moved from the spot you were standing in during calibration, it would not be lined up anymore.
Right. That was the aim track. That was a tough part.
Right. Now that same advantage was gathered by Sinden with its white border and by the 4-sensor version of the retro shooter. So, but compared to original aim track or Dolphin bar, that's your first bullet point that makes this generation of guns better. So now that we're just talking about this generation of guns, you got your Gunfire up here, your Sinden here, and then your entry level, your retro shooter Reapers. So
it's handmade with a higher quality products than the Reapers are made with. That's for sure.
I just remember I can't show it on YouTube anymore.
No, you can't. No, we can't.
Yeah.
We'll get hit with a firearm thing again.
Okay.
Right.
So let me do my sales pitch on this one. So
let Ray rock it.
So basically, for anyone who doesn't know, I'm Ray from Arpeg Electronics. I started my career in arcade stuff doing Gunfire, and Gunfire is created by JB over in Japan, even though he's French. And so it's a very accurate arcade-grade system, okay, that allows a simple PCB, which in our current generation is this little guy here, okay, to connect to pretty much any DIY project you could think of. And we use 4 sensors to track where you are in space, okay? But we don't do the corners. We do the top, middle, left, and right. So we do a cross, okay? So no matter where you are, you're actually going to have like pretty much no dead zones. If you do 2 corners and your screen is too big, the center may be a potential dead zone, okay? That's one thing. All right. As far as the feature-wise, I like to say that Gunfire is the most full-featured one, at least, when we first started like 2, 3 years ago. You could switch aspect ratios. You could turn off rumble, turn on recoil. You have LEDs that can flash according to where you got hit. You have MAME hooker support or various other hooker supports. Which means that the gun will react to the game. Hookers. The gun will react to the game where if you get hit, it'll rumble. If you shoot somebody, it'll recoil. If you run out of bullets, it'll stop recoiling. Okay. As for Sinden is a completely different. Sinden is not IR based. It's not infrared based. Okay. Sinden uses a border to track, and it's actually the second, I would say, easily accessible light gun on the market after aim track was. But rendering the border became difficult for certain games because of the way DirectX or OpenGL or whichever graphics driver they were using took over the screen. The game wants to be front screen and you're trying to render a border around it. Sometimes it didn't play nicely. All right, Gunfire has no issue of that. It's just sensors externally on the TV. Perfect accuracy as long as you calibrate it. As long as you're within like normal, reasonable distance, and the best part is it's DIY. So we have like 2 or 3 models that we sell as our standards: the GunCon 1, GunCon 2, and the Aliens gun, because those are the most popular sellers. But the chip that we sell, the DIY, is only $65. You can put it in anything. If you know how to solder a few pins and plug in a cable, you're good to go. You can make your own Gunfire R very easily. And then, people have made some real creative shit. Like Brad has made the Nerf pulse rifle. Some people made crossbows. I even made a sword for IR and played what do you call it?
Oh yeah,
Castlevania, no?
I forgot you made the sword.
The lightsaber was fun. Yeah. So it's simply put, it's not the cheapest thing because everything is handmade right here. This is the factory. Okay. This is the labor. Still Chinese. Still Chinese. Okay. Yeah, this is made in U.S. labor. All right. They didn't say made by white guy. It said made by U.S. All right.
Well, the other big thing to keep in mind that again, like you luckily give, like you see how Brad has Gunfire that offers like the chip, and then you want to do it yourself, and you could do it cheap. Go like here's your chip, do it. Whereas like some people like me, like I would rather just get a whole plug and play thing and call it a day. Now again, you have, for example, you have like the GunCon 2, which is like what the lowest tiered gun you have. But
GunCon 1 is $250 now. It's on sale, and then GunCon 2 is $275. LED sensors, which are compatible with all light guns in general, is $50. And then power supplies you can get on Amazon. We sell our own for $25.
Did you take the recoil out of the GunCon 1, or do you still do the recoil
still
in
do
it?
Recoil. Everything full. You get recoil, rumble, full cable.
Until tariffs go up.
Well, we actually, so to prevent that, I stocked up 150 light guns ready here. So yeah.
Okay, nice.
And then even our cables are all like, these are all designed by me. Like they're meant to be lighter, stronger than the original aim track cables. There's no more micro USB. The brake is just JST. Like you can kill somebody with this. You know, this is very durable. Yeah.
Right now,
on the DIY front, so more bullet points from the consumer point of view. Of course, you had the accuracy gain. Then going a little deeper, if you want to get a little deeper into the hobby, you've got the DIY thing where you can order a custom build or do your own, where it can be anything you want. You know, like camera on a stick, gun for IR, or full on like what's in Dave and Buster's right now. Go get the tethered Halo battle rifle. You want to turn that into a gun for IR? Do that too. So it's a DIY aspect, but you've also got the full software interface with MAME hooker and other output support, which you cannot do with Sinden. And then it's there also with Sinden, you've got that border is front end software that has to run on your computer or your Pi or whatever it is. So, you know, if you're buying someone else's drive and they've got that all set up, then, you know, a lot of people have, Joel's got a great plug and play box for Sinden guns, but the regular user, once you have that, say you want to add a new game, you have to worry about refade files and everything, get that border, pain in the butt. So all of these boxes are checked by the Gun for IR. And
Let's
then
make it rain drives.
Another cool thing is for people that are building these drives like Joel and whatnot, if you make a Sinden drive, it is Sinden. You know, these configurations are just Sinden. Yes. But you've got a lot more in the same family with the IR guns. So like the Reapers, the retro shooters, the Gun for IR, you know, they're more similar in their setups, and no front end software is required. You can install front end software for custom configurations and calibrations, but it is not required.
And yes, Messiah.
Or
okay, yes, 4 LED sensors. These are also custom designed by me. The chips are designed by JB. I made a cable that for these chips. All right, these are 65 inches long. You have your sensors here. They're very slim. They're not big blocky.
Yes.
You can just stick them on. All right, and they even have an on-off switch. You can turn it off if it's interfering with something weird. And here's one of my favorite builds. This I think I can show on YouTube because this is clearly not real. Yeah, this is the Aliens original arcade
I love
rifle.
that gun.
That's with Gun for IR. All
He's
right.
got the orange tip, so we're safe. We're safe.
Yeah.
You got the slap reload. You got the grenade button. You have a recoil, and then like I even have like LEDs that change color when you shoot it's blue, when you reload it's red.
Now Ray, though, but now you have to explain to people now how much did that gun shell cost you?
I'm not gonna tell what. Well, the actual retail price of this gun shell is $500 on Betsy. That's what people don't understand. That's what people
information.
Yep.
Right.
And that's the shell, guys. That is no electric. That's no components.
Yeah.
Right.
And then,
so Go ahead.
Yeah, so it's $500 for that before tax and shipping. By the way, don't forget that they charge extra for that.
That's before the gun for IR mod.
Yeah, and then you add
Like
my mod service, and
it,
you're paying $1,000. Yeah,
right.
And this is why when you're going for these premium gun for IR builds, and they don't always have to be arcade guns, but this is why people are complaining about like, oh, I got a retro shooter and it's all creaky and cracky and squeaky, and because maybe they've had their hands on a couple of these premium gun for IR real arcade gun conversions, because these arcade guns were built to be bashed on for years at a public, commercial arcade
by kids or virgin men, whichever it could be.
Virgin men. Somebody posted some Time Crisis guns in one of the arcade groups the other day, and he was like, "You can buy them, or I can convert it for gun for IR for you." And I responded in the comment, I was like, "Nobody wants your bootleg gun for IR." I'm such a dick.
Now, my first run-in with Ray was the Jolts. And Ray you don't do Jolts anymore, right?
No, because it's become pointless now, because the guy who sold them, the only dude that had supply, who's the creator, he jacked up the price so high, it's actually cheaper to buy a Time Crisis gun at that point.
Yeah, now if you want to talk about like early on with Jolts, Ray was originally converting aim track internals into other light guns that would just be aim tracks on the inside before he got on the gun for IR bandwagon. So he took a Jolt gun, which is, by the way, folks, it's a third-party light gun from the PlayStation era that actually had a sliding recoil, but it was for a home console. And Joel gutted it and put aim track in one of those for me. And then later tried to get a gun for IR in there. He was able to. And then the rest is history. He's been jamming gun for IR bits into everything he can get his hands on for the last 4 years.
Yep.
Now I remember the build I did, my first Time Crisis build. That's where I used Joel's drive. That Jolt alone, I don't know if I gave you the Jolt and then you modified it.
You gave me the Jolt. You gave me 2 army colored ones.
Army colored ones, yes. And the guy told me he paid like $400 per Jolt.
Yeah.
Like at that time, but you're talking like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So again, same thing, just like
buy a Jolt, $200 to $300 to buy a Jolt now.
Yeah, well, that back then, a lot of people were trying to source Jolts off eBay from the PlayStation era. People were just buying the old Jolt guns. So, and this technology is not in arcades, but we can take the arcade guns and swap out the internals for gun for IR. The modern arcades. Yeah, modern arcades will use an IR-based system, because you'll notice if you go to arcades now, there's no CRTs anymore, which means you're doing an IR-based system, but it's not gun for IR.
I have been asking Ray for years to figure out how to convert those, literally like an Area 51 HAP gun for gun for IR, so that we can have a replacement gun on an Area 51 arcade.
Oh, on an original,
like on an original PCB. Like I've been asking him for years, dude. Figure it out how we can get that working on the original PCB.
No, that's a different story.
It's a different tech.
If you figure it out, you hold the market.
It could totally be figured out. The question is like, what's the customer base on retrofitting
JB has
original hardware?
There's got to be, because
in that case, what would be easier, rather than take and try to make a gun for IR work on an original arcade PCB? It would be easier just to emulate Area 51 and use gun for IR.
But we have those purists and we have those people out there in arcades that own the original Area 51s and can't get replacement CRT TVs, and then the arcade is just like done.
That's true.
Right?
That's true. And
so if you had a replacement, so if you were able to get a gun for IR to work on an original arcade PCB and add like a Unico 26-inch to it with sensors around it, you got a market.
It would totally be. It's a market. The question is how big a market. It's not a huge market. And if somebody were to come to me in that scenario where I have an Area 51 or an old light gun CRT cabinet and I want to restore it, but the CRT is dead and I don't feel like trying to source another 25-inch CRT, right now I would say take the PCB out. It's probably going to be one capacitor away from dying anyway. Put a computer in there and emulate the light gun game.
Area 51 is very easy to emulate anyway.
Nobody would really know the difference.
Like a $60.
They would not,
unless you told them. But
no, I'm going through our real arcades myself right now, and anytime I'm able to J-Rock or Pandora box the hell out of it, I do.
See?
Dick loves those fucking Pandoras, man.
Oh, dude, I'm the only one that works with those Pandora boxes. I love them, man.
I may have a lead. I do have a lead, but I don't know if I'm gonna go get it. I want to go get it. There is a original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cabinet. but it's got a Pandora inside it though. But it's the original. It's the original cabinet. Everything's original artwork. Everything looks great. $500.
That's not
is it a CRT?
Is it what?
CRT or LCD in it?
They got an LCD in it.
And how far away is it?
6 hours. It's in Ohio, like it's like outside of Columbus. But
so a buddy of mine has
it's an original TMNT cab for $500.
A buddy of mine got a Simpsons. So the 4-player Konami, he got the Simpsons that somebody had put it wasn't a Pandora, it was like a one-off PC build, but they had put an emulator and an LCD in it, and he got it for about $1,000. But that was I want to say 3 years ago. So
I had $500 for an original TMNT Konami cab. Everything on it is original except for the screen and the inside. That's not a bad deal.
That's not a bad deal at all. That's a
no, especially since I'm going to be throwing coin ops into my buddy's arcade in July. That was my thought. Get that. Maybe get. I'm sorry, I'm jumping ahead here. So guys, I got the X-Men PCB board, and it's got the ROM errors on it. Guess who I'm sending it to fix? Ken from iFix Sega.
Wait.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wait, the X-Men is a Sega?
No, it's not. But I reached out to him because our friend Jose got a silent scope, and he reached out to him to see if he could fix the PCB board on the silent scope because it's given an 11p error, and it's a huge fix. And Ken said, yeah, he can fix it. So I was like, Jose told me this today, and I was like, wait a minute. Can he fix Konami boards? Let me email Ken. I've talked to him before. So I emailed Ken, and he's like, I might be the only person in the world who fixes Konami boards. And I was like,
that's crazy. For those who don't know, Ken at I Repair Sega is an original hardware god, but his literally is I Repair Sega.
He worked on the Sega arcades in the 90s.
I repair PCBs.
Yeah, you found him for your trilogy and sent them to me for my trilogy.
Yeah, he fixed my Sega Model 3 board that was in Star Wars Trilogy Arcade. And he fixed it quick, he fixed it cheap, and he knew exactly what was wrong with it before, like on the phone. Like I described it, and he's like, "Oh, that's the L4 chip. It's probably the ground. Like I'll take care of it." It's like that.
That's what he did. I told him what ROM error I had with the numbers, and he responded, and he was asking me about the sound chip, and I'm like, "It doesn't look like anybody's touched the board, period." And he's like, "Call me." So I called him, and he's like, "Yeah, here's the price. Send it to me." My turnaround time is 2 weeks. I'm like, you can take 2 months. I don't give a fuck.
Wow.
Prepare the board for me, man.
Wow.
Yeah, Ken gave me exact packing instructions for my Sega Model 3 board. He's like, you need this length of bubble wrap, this size. Wow. You need to wrap it this many times, and you need to put it in a box by these dimensions.
Yeah. Wow. So back up to the TMNT, right? There is about 5 broken TMNT PCBs on eBay for under $500. So I had ideas running in my head about that, but I'm like, I really don't think I should pass up this TMNT cabinet to get into my buddy's arcade. So I really don't think I should. And if you see, I'll send you guys a picture of it later. Like the cabinet looks like it's in really good condition too.
As long as it looks in really good condition, that's the main thing. If it's got like water damage and all that, I wouldn't even look at it.
Just from the outside, it looks like a normal Ninja Turtle cabinet.
Well, it's pretty cool. I'm pretty sure you could do like multiple boards now on a Konami cabinet.
You can. Retro Ralph actually he had a Simpsons cabinet, and he put a JAMA switcher in it. And I think he had the Konami, the hitters. You had the 4-player X-Men, the Turtles, the Simpsons, and I think he had Sunset Riders in there to finish out a set.
I got Sunset Riders too.
Yeah. And that gets pretty crowded. Those full-size boards, like, because I've got a JAMA switcher in my Smash TV, and and then some of these have like a daughter board for like their sound or something, and it gets crowded in there. So that's what I'm saying. Like you could just go Pandora's box, and it's this big.
I know it's a sin to say though, but I know what you're talking about.
The emulation is like 99.9% perfect at this point.
It can now, and Pandora's box is not the best emulation, but it's just so cheap.
It might not be soon.
It's plug and play. Like even if you have a CRT, it's plug and play.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
you know what it takes to get a CRT out of MAME on a Windows PC?
That's fucking huge. That's how big the board is, man.
This is Sunset Riders.
And but you know what? That's not bad. That's not bad at all. It's all in one. It's just a JAMA edge connector. There's no daughter board or anything to worry about. That's not bad.
Right.
I've got in Xenophobe over here. I've got a Rampage board, and both Xenophobe and Rampage are 2.5 feet tall and 1.5 foot wide.
Damn.
That's the PCB.
Holy crap.
There's your one with a daughter board.
Okay.
Right.
So this one, this is Final Fight.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
When I did that Atari, that Jungle Hunt, the whole door, it's on my video, the whole door is just PCBs because it's like door to board.
I've got something to show off on that. I have props. Hold on. Talk amongst yourself.
But yes, that's the argument again. As you get, like, for me, I'm like, all right, $120. I'll put a Pandora box, set it to just one game Pandora box, and call it a day. But you know, I understand people that want like the purists. They want the originals. They want. It's just like when the boards go though. Now you got to pay for
it. I'm a mini PC guy, so I'll do like launch box and then just boot up to one game and then that's it.
Frenzy. So in Frenzy, the Replicade perfectly, reproduced the cabinet, cigarette burns and all. But these cabinets, there was an access door in the front because.
Does it actually have all the board? Wow!
Oh, it slides out.
It slides out of the front. Let's look how big it was. This is scale. This is how big the PCB was for Frenzy compared to the cabinet.
Wait, Brad, did you make a video of something like that where it had something sliding out in the front? Who am I thinking about?
Your Trilogy slides in the front, doesn't it?
Trilogy's on the back of the TV. My Street Fighter, the Dynamo cabinet, slides out of the front.
What about?
No, I'm trying to, exactly how you just said that Replicate. I feel like I saw somebody. Another YouTuber maybe that had that, and I was like,
yeah,
wow.
not mine.
Maybe my Trilogy has a door in the front where I can slide it out. Maybe
yours does. Yeah, the stand-up Trilogy does. Yeah.
I don't know if I ever sent you guys a picture or a video of that doing that though. But I went Prince Vinny over here. He says that Site 4 for Area 51 has never been emulated. It's emulated, but it's not emulated properly. You can't insert coins or do shit. It's not playable. Like, come on, MAME.
Yeah,
like,
I would.
That is like the game we need to get going on MAME.
Yeah, there's a few games out there that I would consider not emulated. Some of those would be like the Sega Hikaru board that had like Pod Racer on it.
Right.
That's never been emulated correctly. Same thing with what's the
Yeah,
Jurassic Park? No, it's not emulated correctly.
What's
That's
not correct about it?
If you play Pod Racer, the arcade ROM, the controls are weird. Like you're actually only controlling one throttle, and also there's no sky. The sky isn't rendered.
Oh, I never noticed that.
Some of the graphics are messed up.
I never noticed that.
Another one would be now as we're talking Sega, the Sega Star Wars arcade from like 1990.
Oh, the Japan one.
Yeah, that one. The 32X one was based on a totally different game, but the actual arcade ROM in MAME, even to this day, it's better. But the geometry is all screwed up, and eventually you start bouncing around inside asteroids, and so your ship blows up. And then that Jurassic Park light gun game.
The controls are still fucked up.
Exactly. Yeah, Jurassic Park 3. So I just saw one of those in like a dead mall in the arcade. It's like, oh, you can't emulate that, which is you can emulate it, just not correctly.
Right.
Wait. Are you talking about the Sega original Jurassic Park?
No. It's Jurassic Park 3. So you had Jurassic Park, then you had the Lost World,
one,
and then you had 3,
which is MAME, and then Sega Model 3. But then there was the Jurassic Park 3, which is not emulated.
Right. Okay.
Which is ironic because it's the weakest one.
It's the weakest one.
Yeah,
this is perfect.
And well, that's like Star Wars Arcade, the Sega Star Wars Arcade. It's from 1990. It's really basic polygons. It's not high tech. It's just the architecture was very, very complicated. And it's hard to emulate. You're trying to emulate all of these chipsets, and no one has. Actually, I saw one forum because I deep dived on Star Wars for a while, and one forum was just like, "We're so close. If we could just get our hands on another clean PCB where we could map a few more of these chips, we might have it." So,
wow.
I think the problem with
still in 10 years.
I think the problem with those is the analog controls. Like they said that like a lot of driving games from Sega Model 2 are emulated in MAME now, just like last month. But that's
exciting stuff. The nightly builds, you're starting to see like Model 2 stuff. It's not great, but it's possible.
Yeah.
It's possible, yeah.
And the Namco System 2? Is that what it was?
Sega Model 2.
No, Namco.
That's the one like Cobra and those other.
No, that's Namco 30. That's Play System. That's the PlayStation.
That's Play System. Yeah.
Yeah. But the House of the Dead 2 is now booting on MAME, it's still glitched. Well, not it's like lagging by like 30 frames per second, and the audio's still off. But it actually fucking boots into the gameplay now. You can. And
everyone's like, oh well, that's fun and all, but like we have the M2 emulator and it plays it great.
Right.
But you guys, the M2 emulator is like 20 years old and it has no support for it.
Yeah.
No one's touched development on it in like 15 years.
You don't really need support for it, though. It does everything it can do. It upgrades to 4K. You can get two guns working on it with the
I agree.
I just don't think it really needs an update. That's all.
I don't either. But I get something's been dead for that long. Like no one's touching it. Like MAME Hooker. MAME Hooker's like dead software. We're beating a dead corpse that's 15 years old. Like there are no updates to MAME Hooker. There are no updates to the M2 emulator.
Actually, the M2 emulator, I would like a better like input system. Like the way that you have to map each single game's input is actually I would like a universal system or something better than that. Yeah.
Didn't they redo now? There's a new Model 3 now emulator that Ray sent us?
No, the new Model 3 GUI. All it does is it just makes it easier to map auto controls, but the actual emulator, nothing has changed.
So since we're on the topic, has anyone been playing around with the new update to TechnoParrot with universal control mapping?
I did today. I did today, and you got to be careful with it because if you already have things mapped, when you go, have you touched it yet, Brad?
No, I haven't.
No. Okay, so I updated today on a racing drive because I know some of my controls were set to X input and D input, and they were mixed up. I figured this would be an easy way to fix that all at once. It was, yes, but the problem is that if you already have controls mapped, so in the universal mapper, you can't delete controls. So you know how like you can click the line and then the line will like erase itself? It doesn't do that on that auto mapper. You'd have to go individually into the game to do that. So if you accidentally map a button incorrectly, it's there. Yeah. Like you can't clear it out, you can't erase it, you can't do anything. So that part kind of sucks. But for the most part, besides that, it worked perfectly. Like absolutely it worked perfectly. So I made sure everything was set up for my X input controls and that all my controls were correctly on the screen the way that they were supposed to.
That finally makes I feel like that was the big thing that like made TechnoParrot like didn't feel like something like MAME, where you were just going into each individual game and brute forcing the controls, to remap.
It sucks.
Yeah, whereas like
when you have like 160 games that do it individually.
Yeah, I don't even like calling TechnoParrot an emulator because it really isn't. It's really just a crack. It cracks encryption keys. It craps all over the control interfaces, and it lets you manipulate them. So it's not really an emulator. So when you're in an emulator, again, I think of MAME. You go into MAME, and you can go to master, control mapping. And you could tweak each individual game, but you could do a master control mapping. And now that TechnoParrot's letting you do that, I'm starting to really finally feel like it is an emulator.
My question now
to do a master though, you have to actually manually select every game that you want to map.
Yeah, it's not there yet. It's on its way.
There's no default yet.
My only question now, we have on TechnoParrot, you have a couple of shooting games let's keep an eye on. For example, like Luigi's Mansion. It's not like Gun Trigger 1. It's fucking Vacuum and then like something else. So how does that look now on TechnoParrot?
I think what? You talking about Luigi's Mansion?
I think they add the function for Vacuum. They added
when you're enabling all the games you want to map.
It's Vacuum.
It's separate from Gun Trigger 1.
Yeah. So if it's not
you have to map Gun Trigger 1 plus Vacuum.
I like that where you just hold the trigger in and you
Gun Trigger 1 you can map to left click and then Vacuum also left click.
Right. So what I'm saying is that because certain games on TechnoParrot, like for example, MAME is like gun button 1 and then gun button 2. It's like universal. Whereas now TechnoParrot, you got.
Remember, Vic, it's not as universal as you might think. Because think about it this way: like say in MAME, it's gun 1, right? But you might have to go down to analog X, analog Y, if you want to map Terminator or Revolutionary X, because those weren't gun games.
Those are 80 stick. Yeah, those are 80 stick. Yeah.
So even in MAME, it's not quite as universal as we tend to just default think it is. So it's going to be similar to TechnoParrot. So
my only fear right now is what happens if I update my TechnoParrot? Is it going to fuck everything up?
No. All your controls are still there.
All of your config files are there until you go in and do a remap.
I got that mounted gun thing, and I'm done with it.
What you can do is,
if anything, your mounted gun, you can do it on all the games at once.
I don't want to. I'm right now. It's like done. I don't want to touch it. So I don't want to update it.
I asked Ray in the chat earlier. He probably didn't see it. That I was worried. I had a worry in my head that if what is his Technoparrot mapper not going to work with this new update? I basically answered my own question as I updated and ran the auto mapper for the configuration. You can still do individual configuration.
Yeah.
Okay.
In order to do the auto mapper for all the games, you go into what do you call it? You go into the settings on the left under the hamburger, you click the settings, and then in the setting, that's where you click it to do the universal map. So you can still go game for game and do your mapping and change your resolution or do whatever little configurations you want to do individually per game. So Ray's auto mapper for Technoparrot shouldn't affect anything at all.
Right. Yeah, it's fine.
Thank God. I was so worried about that this morning. I'm like,
well, they tell you back up the profile
like, we just fixed this.
Yeah.
Like, we just got this. We just fixed it. I don't want this to break.
We're talking about Technoparrot real quick. So let me tell you real quick this thing that I feel really bad, and it's funny because you know, now when you do a Google search, now it automatically shows you this AI bullshit answer.
Yeah.
I hate it.
So I told you about the young teen that I have. He's autistic, cool kid. He messaged me, you know, to help him with stuff.
Yeah.
I gave him a copy of Guitar Hero Arcade.
Okay.
But my Guitar Hero Arcade is a standalone launcher.
Yeah.
So it's like it's set to free play. It works. You do X360 CE for your that's it. So again, it's the kid's cool, but he's so fixated. He wants Guitar Hero to work with Technoparrot. And I'm like, okay, I sent him the file, right? So he now has an issue for some reason. Technoparrot Guitar Hero, he can't insert coins. Like,
oh yeah, it's a pain in the ass.
So just wait. So
and if you get it running though too, only the frets work.
I don't know. I don't use Technoparrot, so I'm like, I said to him like, bro, I'm sorry, dude. I was like, I gave you a standalone Guitar Hero. It works. Like, use it. But he's like fixated on no, I want it like Technoparrot. So he went to Google, right? And he searched like, how do I insert coin on Technoparrot Guitar Hero? Oh, no. Fucking Google AI bullshit. It said Technoparrot /MAME in-game press tab to change settings. So he's like, I'm pressing tab. And I'm like, no, like Technoparrot isn't MAME. And then he sent me a screenshot of this Google AI. And I was like, dude.
Well, Google said so, Vic. Are you sure? Because Google said so.
Yeah, but I'm like, dude. I was like, no, Technoparrot isn't MAME. It's not gonna tab, and
also,
I feel so bad.
Technoparrot doesn't even have a freaking coin option. I think you have to press like one of the strum or whatever the hell the thing is.
Whatever it is, the Technoparrot controller setup for Guitar Hero has an option to put coin.
I'll be right back, guys.
But if he puts it to like 5 and he's pressing 5, it doesn't enter coin. I'm just here. I'm like, I gave you a standalone
replay for you. It's easier.
I was like, I give you a standalone. Just use that. But it was just funny because like, this whole Technoparrot and the Google AI thing. I'm like, what? Google AI said to press tab for Technoparrot. I'm like, no, that's not a thing. Don't do that. It doesn't work.
Here, I'll send you the one without coin needed for Technoparrot.
Oh, there's like a separate ROM.
No, I made mine free play. So yeah, that'll solve the issue.
But it works in Technoparrot?
Yeah, come on, I'm ready.
All right. Send it to me and I'll send it over to the kiddo.
There you go.
Don't step back. What's really cool right now, I was gonna say, Brad, you gotta either turn on lights because Brad has changed up his game room. His whole game room has moved.
I have, and I was so excited to do like a presentation today, but my rearrangement was to make room for a new cabinet that did not arrive in time for our stream, so it is not here. Yeah, but I don't know if we haven't streamed in a little while, but if any of the viewers tuned in before and recognize the background, I had a light gun cabinet and a Star Wars trilogy behind me. And now I've got my Smash TV and Street Fighter over here, and so we'll.
That's what I was gonna say. You might have to turn on some lights.
Right. The over here.
Oh, look at that! Trilogy all the way over there. Looks sick.
Very set basement bright. So it's we've got our Atari Star Wars and Star Wars trilogy, and I'll get out there so we'll focus. And Xenophobe are over there now. So so they're all over there, and this gives me room over here for my Lycan cabinet, my TV, my Street Fighter, and then here is going to be a new cabinet.
It's a mystery cabinet. Are you going to tell people what the cabinet is? Or
it is my new cabinet is going to be the very first super scaler from Sega. Hang on. So we got a hang on cabinet coming down from Pennsylvania, hopefully tomorrow. But I couldn't pass it up. It was really a steal. It's beautiful condition, and it's a piece of history. This was the first super scaler. So Outrun and Outrunners and Afterburner, Space Harrier, they all came from this hardware. They invented this hardware for Hang On. So it's pretty cool.
That's amazing. And it looked great. The cabinet looked very nice. I think the CRT looked really good on that, right? It wasn't like a great CRT.
Of course, it's they did also make a deluxe, because Sega was doing that back then. I'm sure a lot of people remember the Outrun, which was like a little car that tilted. And then the Afterburner pod that moved up down, because I know Ray was helping me do a live stream when I was playing that in an arcade. There was a deluxe Hang On, and it was a motorcycle with a CRT television mounted in between the handlebars, and you lean the whole motorcycle left and right. It looked like a little. The other day? Yeah. It looked like a little kiddie ride you'd see outside of a grocery store. But that was the deluxe version of Hang On. That was pretty cool too. So, but no, this is the stand up. It's a perfect little fit for the corner there. And I will be doing a video on that when it arrives.
Now, what is it? Is it coming in two pieces? Does it separate?
No. So just the stand up is just one. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know you guys just a stand up one. I thought you got the actual. Oh shit! Wait, I got the picture.
I was saying I wish I had the little motorcycle one, but no, I actually wouldn't even have room for it. But I don't know if I could find the motorcycle one, I'd make room. So
if you'd have to get rid of Trilogy to fit the motorcycle one in there. Because
I'd have to get rid of my couch. So.
Yeah, basically. But you can't get rid of your couch. That's Vic's bed.
It's true.
And also, there's love stains on it.
It's love stains.
We'll advertise that when we sell it.
What do we got here? Getting in road burners.
Road burners
for a blind. Oh, $275.
Wow, blind playing. That's not so.
So you need a screen.
Yeah, and codes, and they're a direct fit. So,
Yeah.
And we're not talking about the light guns. So, it's totally viable to do LCD swap in these things. So, but no, I stumbled on this.
Ray's got to get Gunfire working on arcade PCBs.
It would, what it would do? It would give people a peace of mind. The same peace of mind they had when they got like a Pandora's box, could emulate it. Well, if my PCB ever goes out, in fact, my Street Fighter has the original CPS 2 board in it for Street Fighter, but I've got it plugged into the JAMA so I can play other games. And it's even, it's nice to have the option in case something goes wrong with this original hardware that, you don't have a giant paperweight. You can still have, but that's where the board has gone bad. But you're talking in a case of, well, what if the controls go bad?
No, he's about the CRTs come out. Controls go. Hap guns are cheap as hell.
No, hap buttons are totally right. So up to this point, we've never really thought about that scenario because you could just joysticks and buttons, you replace them.
Even
but
the
light guns,
we've been to arcades, and the four of us have been to arcades together, right, on different occasions. And how many times have we walked up to one of those light gun machines and either player 2 didn't work, or the calibration was off? Or the game just didn't work, period, right?
So how many people have already they've gone like the Namco guns, and you go there and the Lethal Enforcers like revolvers, and they've all been swapped out for hap guns because that was back in the day your backup if the hardware failed. Well, now you can't get the hap guns really anymore. So
or you can't get the CRTs though either. So the CRTs would completely be screwed. The Nintendo cabs, if the CRT goes on the Nintendo cab and you can't fix it, then your Duck Hunt machine is useless. But if Ray could figure out a mod to get that gun to work on the original PCB, that would be great.
We actually have gun for CRT though. So if your PCB goes bad, we can actually you can use like a what's the thing called, the Mr. Pi, the new
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about?
The Mr. FPG.
Yeah, FPGA. Yeah, that one can plug into VGA directly, or the new Rico box one, and then the new adapter can make the gun work on
the original controls. Yeah, the same thing. There's a thing called the Smarty Pie
issue. Yeah,
the Smarty Pie is a series of custom PCBs that plug into the GPIO board on a Pi and let you plug in the various original arcade harnesses for like Outrun, Afterburner, those old things. And then you just run a dedicated Pi that just runs the one ROM, but it's plug and play with original controls.
I do kind of want to try a Mr. Pi and see if there's any noticeable difference in emulation of like my favorite game. But they don't support Marvel vs. Capcom. They don't do a CPS 3 yet.
Not yet.
Only CPS 2. Otherwise, I will support Taki Ura and I'll buy one.
Well, wait. Yeah. Well, Marvel vs. Capcom runs on Naomi, so I mean, if the Mister runs Naomi,
no, but so
Capcom 2.
Yeah, it runs on Naomi.
It doesn't support Naomi.
Yeah, that's Naomi. The CPS 3, that's Street Fighter 3 is CPS 3.
Yeah.
So, Brad, you guys still got the original Street Fighter board inside your Street Fighter back there?
Yeah.
We played it when we were there, remember?
I did a ROM swap. It was Championship Edition. I changed it to Hyper Fighting. So I've got the chips for both, but yeah, I got the CPS 2 board.
How often do you play the board?
Not often enough. So we can talk. There's a number.
There's a number. Of course, there's a number
for everything.
Yeah.
All right,
there's always a number. Yeah,
I remember Brad made the video on Street Fighter, and he said like the reason he leaned towards the Pandora box is because you had like Street Fighter's Third Strike, right?
Yeah. So I actually considered putting a JAMA switcher in there and getting like a CPS 2. So I've got a CPS board, which is Street Fighter 2 up to Hyper Fighting. Then starting with the new challengers, the new warriors, whatever it was, and then all the alphas and all that stuff. All that was CPS 2. And then Street Fighter 3 was the CPS 3. So I was looking at CPS 2 boards, and you could get them, right? So I was thinking a JAMA switcher for all the different CPS boards. Then I got into the rabbit hole of the CPS 3. Holy moly, of that goddamn thing expensive, and they got suicide batteries in them, and there's all kinds of cool mods out there to make them work like efficiently nowadays, but thousands of dollars, guys. Thousands of dollars.
They have an enclosure for $600.
Yeah,
and then, I just learned what a suicide battery was. Why don't you explain to our audience?
Suicide batteries, guys. Hey, you want to talk about original fun with original hardware? So let's talk about a thing called volatile memory. Okay, this is when data is stored on storage, solid storage like chips, and it can only. Those little ones and zeros are only held in a quantum state by a constant electrical charge. So, like, when you turn the machine off, you need a battery on the board that holds the memory. And when that battery dies, all the data's gone. So that's what we call them a suicide battery.
The Game Boy cartridges, like why your Pokemon save would get like deleted.
Yeah,
exactly right. As a kid.
So it was volatile memory that held your game on Zelda, and all of those old games with save states. Save states prior to memory cards, they were using volatile memory, so they had batteries on all of the cartridges. So now in those cases you would just lose your save game. Now on volatile PCBs, you'd lose the entire game. So
wow. So what do you do in that point?
Well, in that case, most people what they do is they replace the batteries before they die. Or they'll get replacement ROM chips that don't use volatile memory. People have flash replacement chips where non-volatile.
So after you talked about that the other day, I looked it up, and there's actually a nice fix for those with the RAM chips. So if you can catch the suicide battery before it dies and fix it, you're going to be golden for life. Kind of like with the Vic, a good example would be with the pinball boards that have the battery packs inside them.
Yeah.
And you can get the RAM to put inside it with a mod instead of using batteries. Similar to what Brad is talking about.
But I'm more surprised. Like what Brad's saying is that if the battery dies, then the game now you need to apparently put a new battery plus chips.
Well, you can either do chips that are non-volatile memory that have been written with the data that you have now lost. Or you can swap out the batteries before. Now, when you're swapping out the batteries on if you want to keep your volatile memory and do a battery fix to save it before it dies, there's a procedure involved because you can't actually cut power during the swap.
Right, I was going to say, what if you killed it?
Exactly. It usually involves soldering in a capacitor and then removing the battery. So it's a process, but it's pointless because most people just go with non-volatile. Now this was a tech thing. Like even in the 90s, I work in IT, and there's certain industrial grade computers we call from Sun. They were the Spark stations. We called them pizza boxes and stuff because they look like a pizza box. And these little Spark stations were about this big. They all ran on volatile memory as well. So they had an onboard battery on your old computers. You'll see a watch battery, like a watch cell, and that will hold your CMOS data on a lot of stuff. But back in the day, it held the BIOS. So when that died, your entire BIOS was dead, which bricked your computers. So it's just a sign of the times. That was the only way they had solid state memory and any kind of affordable state back then was to have volatile memory that needed a charge. Nowadays, you could easily get a solid state memory that is solid state. It writes those ones and zeros and they stay static, until a charge is reapplied to them where it could change them. So it's, technology. Wow. It's fluid, guys. It keeps moving. And if you want to back up,
solid state.
Who says we don't know what we're doing?
Yeah. We've got to now.
Go sit on the porch.
Peace of mind is huge when you're dealing with stuff this old. So I also like to dabble in. You guys know you've been down here. I dabble in the old gadgets, my VCRs, my Laserdisc players, my old hi-fi system.
Dude, I love your hi-fi system.
Oh, the hi-fi's nice.
Love the hi-fi system.
It's
real. Oh my god.
Now those hi-fi stuff, like the stuff from the 70s, it's pretty solid. But all of my black plastic shit, that's the hi-fi from the 90s, which was all this black plastic instead of like chrome and wood grain. The black plastics are dying. I just had to fix my cassette deck from the 90s because the capacitors they were using then they were cheap and they're all leaking by this point, 100% guaranteed. I got stuff from the 70s. The capacitors are still great. Stuff from 1993, which is around the same time as say like the Sega CD. Also, the capacitors die in Sega CDs. Oh, yeah. Sega Game Gear. You will not find an original Sega Game Gear that works right now. If it's original hardware, those capacitors have already leaked out.
If it does work, it has issues already.
Yeah.
So first time I ever replaced a capacitor was on a Sega Game Gear. Not a hard thing to do at all.
But there's a lot of them. If you want to do a full cap kit on a Game Gear, there's a lot of them. So
it's about 15 or 16.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot.
It's big.
That's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot. I mean, and you've all seen my solder job, so it worked though.
I got that desoldering iron now. That desolder is a thing of beauty, honestly.
Oh, the sucker.
Oh God! I wish I had that when I was fixing my my Smash TV. I was trying to desolder with like a solder wick, and by the end of it, I was taking pliers and drills and
no, that was the best $20 on Amazon I spent.
At one point back in like 2015, I had this idea of like fixing the HDMI ports on like broken Xbox Ones. And the first time I ever tried to do it was with the soldering wick.
You out of your mind with the wick. Hot air gun for that.
Oh yeah. Well, I bought the kit. I bought.
I put a hairdryer on it.
No, my soldering iron came with the hot air gun with it too to get it off.
Yeah, but HDMI ports have legit.
I live in a house full of women. There's 3 hot hair dryers in this house, and I have one in the garage that used to be my wife's, which is not mine, to use when I'm trying to we call it. When you would order the GRS and the Plexi, and it had like that brown shit on the back of it. Use a hair dryer to loosen the glue up and get that shit off.
It just muscled it. I was like, fuck it.
Your hand motion was like, the hair dryer.
No, dude, when it's 10 degrees outside and you got to peel that shit off a Plexi, that shit ain't coming off easy at all. No, that shit ain't coming off easy at all, man. Use a hair dryer.
Go back real quick to the HDMIs. Isn't there? You need to do micro soldering for that.
Yeah, no, there's just four little things.
Yeah,
and then it comes off. Yeah, but I tried soldering wick in it, and
you got to replace.
Yeah, so sometimes the HDMIs are they're surface mounted.
Oh,
so
yeah.
It's kind of all flat on one side of the board. Hence, you can do it with a heat gun and like some tweezers. So.
Yeah, that didn't work out for me very well at all. I actually burned the board.
Replace an HDMI port.
I attempted on a Nintendo Switch the USB-C charging port swap, and that was a fucking nightmare.
No, USB-C is way harder than HDMI.
Fuck me.
I'd rather try doing an HDMI one all over again. I might be able to do an HDMI one now that I have a little bit more skill. You
need a good heat gun, a heat with a really.
You need a heat plate, if anything. You need like one of those pro grade like.
No, not a heat plate. It's not focused enough. That's gonna burn up the whole thing. You need a heat gun with flux.
You guys should have seen my the very first time I was dabbling with like I think I bought like an off the shelf soldering iron to try to wire up those aliens guns in 2020 when I was trying to figure out like the power harness. I swear to God, my old townhouse, my front room was my little arcade. I was soldering on the carpet. And when I sold the house, there was still molten metal in that carpet.
Yes. Everybody always has that.
Some kids.
I have that everywhere in the garage. At least it's like on plastics, it just comes off easy. But on carpet, Jesus Christ.
It's always fun when you get the little solder balls that kind of roll around a little bit here and there too.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I remember when that happened.
I honestly, I think last month or 2 months ago, I finally upgraded and bought a new soldering iron. I was like, it's time. It's been like 7 years.
3 spares. I was just giving
Dude,
you one of mine.
Soldering the pinball machines are a pain in the ass. The Flash, that was a fucking bitch to solder. Like, I probably should have took it out, but I was doing it with like the hood up, and I'm like underneath it trying.
Oh
to
yeah, no,
I was doing the same.
you're fighting gravity at that point. That sucks.
Basically, yeah.
I was doing the same on Playboy before I decided to go and just give it to Todd over at TNT. I was up under there like resoldering stuff. It was the same generation as Flash, where you're all up under the undercarriage, and it's awful.
It sucks. It sucks.
Thank God they redid the design of pinball machines to make it just go up and vertical and easier to maintain.
Yeah, and then when I went to TNT and I bought Star Trek, which was a bargain basement deal. It was like sitting on the floor. Before it went out, they gave it a quick once over. Those guys, it was like a damn F1 pit crew. They took the glass off, they took the playfield and flipped it up and then tossed it over upside down, put it back down, and 4 guys were simultaneously pulling components and resoldering. It was like you could hear like the guns like taking the tires off the F1 car. Like, man, this is not your first barbecue.
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy.
Those guys were like, we need to get this thing out of here. We need to get it out of here now.
Yeah, we're going to solve it right now. This guy is here. Get it out.
He's going to change his mind.
Don't even turn it on and test it. Just put it together and get it out the door. I didn't know you got that from TNT too. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, when I went to go pick up Playboy, they were done the Playboy restoration. I came to pick it up, and while we were there, what was it? We decided to just mess around. Me and my buddy who came up, we decided to mess around when in Rome. So we were playing around the arcade in the front, and everything up there is for sale. And I round the corner, and there's a Star Trek, and you guys have seen it. It's a little beat up, but it works. And it's just like, well, son, you have a truck. And let's talk. There's going to be a number. Come on.
That's Todd. That's awesome.
That's really funny.
Yep. So I went with one. I started with one pinball machine. I ended up with 3. So
have you guys ever seen the original James Bond pinball machine?
Yeah, I just saw somebody selling one.
You talking about GoldenEye?
Not GoldenEye. There's only one more before GoldenEye.
Yeah.
It's just James Bond. It might be from the 70s. It might be from the 60s. It looks
70s. Yeah, it's not EM. It's solid state.
It's definitely solid state. It's got 4 flippers at the bottom of it, and there's no lanes on the side. So like if you go to like trap the ball, you can't trap the ball. It falls.
Oh, interesting.
It comes down. Yeah, it's it's on a timer. I've played it because one of the guys in the pinball league has GoldenEye, that one, and Dr. No like all lined up. Like he's a James Bond fan. So we played it at one of the pinball league nights, and it actually runs on a timer. And then the timer resets itself when you do certain things so that the balls will keep going for you. Because like, normally 3 balls, you're dead, right?
Yeah.
And me, shitty as pinball, 3 balls, I'm out in like 5 minutes. And I was like, why am I still going after 3 balls? And I'm like on ball 6. I'm like, it's a timer that kept resetting itself. So it's a very interesting pinball. Not something I would want to own, but it's definitely a very interesting pinball if you're going to try to get like classics. I seen one for I think it was like $1,800. I think I seen it on Marketplace.
That's not too bad.
Brad, you got to share.
I got a picture of it. It's just the stupid Stern one is like filling up all the Google searches. But I've got a what is it? Oh, here we go. Share my screen.
Oh wow, Alejandro, there's a lot.
Especially for 3.5, you can get a decent DMD era game for 3.5 now.
Yeah, you really can. Yeah, that's it. See the 4 flippers?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So you can't trap the ball in it. You're just straight whacking the ball.
Yeah.
Well, it's a lot of fun. It's funky is the best way that I could describe it. It's a very funky machine. Alejandro,
That's a pimp.
It is, right? Alejandro, if you watch what do you call it? Captain's Arcade, you might even be able to get a Stern for around that price.
Possibly.
Yeah, I mean it's going to be stroke of luck if you do, but I mean they're starting to come down a little bit. Like Jaws and John Wick and Foo Fighters, I'm seeing them go for like 4-ish on captains.
Actually, I'm seeing prices come down on everything right now, including pinball. I'm seeing pinballs under $3. I'm seeing $2.5, $2,700. I just saw an F-14 Tomcat for $2,000 in Maryland. So,
That's not bad. It's actually a pretty decent game.
Yeah.
But I mean, like for 3.5, you could. I mean, I think somebody offered to trade my Street Fighter for a Terminator T2.
Whoa, a T2.
Take that.
Nah, wow. I honestly, man, Street Fighter grew up on me, man. Street Fighter grew on me. It's fun to beat it.
It's a good machine. It's a good game.
It's just the music.
You can ask Brad. I was dying to fucking play that when we were at MagFest. I'm like, this fucking thing needs to turn on and work. And then it finally worked. And I'm like, this game is hard.
It's an easy game, but it's just like, you know what it is? It's like, like me personally, if you say Vic, like when you hear arcade, like what's the first game that comes to mind? It's Street Fighter 2.
Yeah.
Like all day for me. Anytime you say the word arcade, it's Street Fighter. So like that pinball machine with like the whole like the fighting sounds and the music and all that, I'm like, I'm gonna have to wind up keeping it.
There's one for sale, Illinois area, Utah area, maybe not Utah. I know that's way off, but like Illinois area, there is one for sale. I think I sent you guys the link for $2,500, but the dude won't ship.
Oh yeah,
you gotta go pick it up, and he's $2,500 cash or Zelly.
I think it's too much for Street Fighter, to be honest.
I don't know. He did a workover on it. He did a workover on it. I mean, the DMD needs to be replaced. We were seeing him go for like 3-4. At 2 Gs, I think would be a better price for that one. But
2 Gs would be probably in this realm. Yeah. What's Andor? What's Hakitan talking about?
Oh, the Star Wars, the new Star Wars Andor season 2. For the record, I love it. I rewatched season 1 like 4 times in the last couple of months, getting ready for it. So I'm enamored with Andor season 2. So
I'm all caught up. Are you all caught up?
I am all caught up. Yes.
I didn't really understand what was going on for a little while. Like the first 3 episodes, I don't know if I was too stoned watching them or what. There was too much dialogue going on. I didn't really get what was going on in the first 3, but I kind of ignored it because I knew it was going to start to pick up. And then the 4th episode was kind of mediocre for me, but it was episode 5 that really started to pick up when we got Saw. And did you catch why he needs a respirator? Did you?
And they finally filled in, like, you just assumed he was fucked up. Now you know exactly what fucked him up. Yeah, so they're filling in some blanks.
I got a theory. I think he's just inhaling the iridium, and he's just high all the time.
It was like, that's the thing. I was like, wait, that wasn't oxygen. He's been inhaling hard drugs this whole time. Yeah. He's got this mask. Forrest Whitaker has this mask. He's like, anyway.
I'm sorry if I'm spoiling anything, but I didn't really try to spoil anything here.
Yeah, but season 1 of Andor, for those who didn't watch it, the whole season took place over the course of a 1-year time frame. Season 2 is a 1-year time jump. And then every 3 episodes, there's another 1-year time jump. So it is a lot more of just dropping you in. You're like, wait, where are we? What's happening? What's happened since? And it doesn't spoon feed it to you. It just plays out, and then you have to infer what you've missed. So,
have you in the 3rd episode where he was escaping the planet? Did you catch what planet that was?
Yes, I thought everyone did, and then I talked to a friend at work, and I was just like, and that reveal about the planet. He's like, what? I missed that. I'm like, you missed that? How could you? That was so.
As soon as I seen the pyramid, I was like, oh
yeah. So there's fuck it, we're not talking about spoilers here. So there's a scene where our hero is stuck on a jungle planet for a couple of episodes, and he finally escapes, and as he's flying away out of this dense jungle of like death, you see the pyramids coming out of the trees of Yavin 4, which is where the Rebel base was in the original Star Wars movie. They were stuck on the planet that will one day be the Rebel base. So that was a cool reveal. Yeah.
And then Saw was on DQR. And it's one of the Rebel bases that we see in, I think it's episode 7 is where we see the base.
Yeah. Can't wait.
So, I mean, we already know what's going to happen. They're all going to die.
We do. No, we know everything. This is all prequel. It's just we want to see this stuff. We want to see the meat and potatoes that happened in between. It's good. It's drama. It's good acting. It's great sets. The production values are through the roof.
God. Dude, they put so much money into this. Now
$650 million.
We're halfway into this now. Now, if you remember in season 1, the first couple episodes or the first half of the season was kind of slow to going, and then once he got arrested, it picked up. And now we're at that turning point where we just had episode 6.
Yeah,
we just had all that shit happen in episode 6. They killed the doctor.
Yeah, they're releasing 3 episodes a week.
Yeah.
And there's only 12 episodes. So in 1 month, this whole series is going to be over.
Yeah, so these next 2 weeks are going to be the most intense part of the episodes. Like, I think episode 7 is going to be a little slow to pick up, and then 8 and 9 are really going to pick up.
Yeah, well, you can't get too fast because they got that year time jump. So we're going to have another year time jump. They got to give the audience a little chance to like get their bearings on everything. No, it's great. Right. Anyone who wants to watch it and hasn't gotten around to it yet, make
you
time.
Just ruined it for everybody.
I'm going to ruin it for you, but get caught up, and then you can be surprised with the rest of us for the other half of the season.
Right, and I'm sorry we didn't really try to spoil too much if you guys haven't caught up with it, but just ignore what we said and just watch the show.
I'm sensing a cliffhanger. That's what anytime with these shows is 99% chance it's a cliffhanger.
Well, the ending. This is the last season of it. They're only doing the first. They're only doing
season. And then they pointed out that, of course, this is a character that was introduced in Rogue One, and they said that the last episode of Andor will take place. It will lead literally right up to the first scene of Rogue One.
How good is that going to be?
Yeah, the producers are considering Rogue One as Andor season 3.
We should stream the last episode of Andor live, and then we should just turn on Rogue One right away, right after.
Yeah, and just watch.
We can stream a show though.
You might as well do a live reaction. You might as well have it small in a square.
What we could do a blind thing, like the commentary on YouTube, where it's like, hey, play your own movie and just play our audio track like while you're watching it.
Right. We can just turn the volume on super low.
No, you can't. I think they actually have algorithms to target the actual like video play.
Well, fucking do it on TikTok then. TikTok ain't got an algorithm like that.
There are rules on TikTok.
TikTok's like the honey badger. TikTok don't care.
You know how many nipples I see on TikTok like every day? I mean, and they're not even all Joel's.
Dude, I'm on TikTok all the time, like just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling.
Joel's nipples are on TikTok all the time.
All the time. I send you guys so much horny shit.
True. That's like my Facebook reels. All of a sudden, it's just that. It's like, what's happening on my Facebook reels? I can't even go on Facebook anymore.
Because Joel sent you something on TikTok.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I don't have it. Jesus, I don't want to see Joel's nipples.
You don't know what you're missing, man.
You've already seen them, Ray. We've seen yours too.
Oh, that's true.
We're basically at the 1 year anniversary of seeing each other with our shirts off.
Yeah, 3 more days.
Yeah, because we went in a jacuzzi, guys. We weren't having a gay orgy.
Well, we got the 1 year anniversary of Ray's new face.
Yeah,
so how's the new face holding up?
His beautiful lips.
I paid for the freaking scar correction.
There is no visit to Brad's house that is not paid for in blood.
What happened to the?
We're back.
Oh, I was trying to get Ray full screen here, but it wasn't working. Look at those beautiful lips that went under surgery.
Yeah,
man, they're even better than before. You should thank me.
2 months into the scar correction, I went to a really Jewish plastic surgeon. He did a good job.
Really Jewish.
He had to emphasize that, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
I mean, like you're not in New York City.
Yeah, he's a real New Yorker, like talking about his family and kids, like that type of guy. Like
he's got the gold chain.
While it's operating in your mouth.
Yeah, right.
Like his last name is Monosibin.
What is this hair in my mouth? It's just.
I can't believe it's almost been a year. I was literally driving last week, and I was like, I remember that one time we were all in the hot tub, but it was only like a 10-minute. We were only in there for 10 minutes. Ray disappeared, came back, and was like, guys, I gotta go to the hospital. Like, what?
I don't know. We were drinking a lot, but I think it was more than 10 minutes.
No, more than 10 minutes.
It was a solid 10 minutes. It was not that long.
The whole weekend, for the record, the whole weekend went by really fast.
It
was in May. Was it in April? Was it in April?
It was the first weekend.
It was
May the 4th weekend.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Wow. So 1 year ago, like this week.
Yeah, but May the 4th was May the 4th was a Saturday and Cinco de Mayo was a Sunday. So we didn't get to celebrate Cinco de Mayo. Yeah. Because we did the live stream for May the 4th. I was determined to beat your trilogy, and I fucking still haven't beat that level.
The last one, right at the end, you fucked it up.
I'm gonna stream it like tomorrow or Sunday. I'll go in the garage and I'll stream it to see if I can do it again.
Oh my god, I will so tune in for that because I need to see you lose again. Because here's the thing, guys, that part of the game, you can only play that level if you've beaten all the other levels, and there is no coin to continue. If you don't beat that part, it is game over and it kicks you out.
It kicks you out. You're done. That's it. You're done. You completed the game.
You were like aiming. You were just off on aiming at something, and that was it.
I was. So well, you know what, the analog. I mean, the analog is good, but it's tricky. Like
it's still a little jumpy. It is. Yeah. It's not like using like a mouse. It is still. There's still a little jitter to it. So
right, mine does the same thing. There's a jitter to it too. So
yeah, and the game actually built in a little. There's kind of an assist for that when it comes to those precision shots you have to make. When you put your crosshair over it, you're gonna get a little yellow circle that shows up saying that you're locked in on a target, and you really have to wait to see that before you want to hit your proton torpedoes. So, and that was kind of like a little thing. So you weren't like, oh, I'm a little off and I hit my, because you can't rapid fire the torpedoes like you can your blasters the rest of the game. So it gives you this little helper, like wait till you see the little lock on, then you can hit the button. And
yeah, one shot only, I remember, right?
One shot. Now at the end, you have to hit 5 targets. You only have time to take one shot at each. So if you don't have that target lock and you shoot a torpedo, you've already missed one. If you've missed one, you lose.
You're fucked.
So. You lose. I think that's what happened with Joel. I think that was it.
I played it on.
It's only a 20-minute game.
It's very challenging.
Even on, I think I streamed it on TikTok, and with controller, and I beat it with the controller, but it was still a fucking pain in the ass. The game was slower on Model 3.
Yeah,
and playing it with the controller, it was not the same. It's not the same speed as playing the real deal.
Yeah, and I didn't notice that because I was always playing it on Supermodel until I had and of course I had played in the arcade, but you forget until I then had it in hand, and then even then I didn't notice until I went back to play it on my modded Star Wars cabinet. I played Supermodel again. I was like, whoa, this is there's a couple little glitches on this.
Yeah, it's not totally. It's emulated correctly, but very minor things.
Yeah, very minor. So
very minor. It definitely plays slower on Model 3.
Yeah, and like you said, it's only a 20-minute game, especially when you're on free play.
Yeah.
But because you're spoiled by the free play, when you get to the end there and you miss it, you're really upset because you have to play. If you want to try again, you have to play another 20 minutes to get back to that spot.
Yep. Yeah. I beat Battle Pod the whole way through, and that's not as satisfying as Trilogy.
Because it's just that bonus level at the end with Vader, and then
that's it.
Yeah,
that's it. You get some credits, and there's nothing else after it. There's no. It just kind of ends, and it's like
Battle Pod though is like the newer game, no? Like
yeah. That was like 2014 or something.
Effect.
Right.
Yeah, the one.
Yeah, well, they made the flat screen version too.
The one we've been telling Brad, he's got plenty
of
room for it.
Is it?
It is. It's on Technoparrot. Yeah.
That's the one that we have. Isn't that the one with the dome fix or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, you put a dome fix in because the ROM that everyone had was the original ROM. It wasn't the flat screen version ROM. So you put the dome fix in. So
there's no flat ROM, I believe.
There isn't and there also isn't. In 2015 they released a new level, which was the Force Awakens level, and no one has that on their copy emulated. No, and like when that was it. Come on, guys, it's been 10 years. It's 10 years since Force Awakens came out, and no one has a dump from Battle Pods in the last 10 years.
I've never even seen that dump in the arcade though either.
If you go play any of the Battle Pods, if you can find one now or all the flat screens, they're all going to have the latest software, which will have the Takodana level. So,
now, isn't it crazy how like a game that's made in 2014, apparently it's an anticlimactic ending versus like Trilogy, for example.
Yeah. Well, and also we're talking about like, the new game. Oh, you mean the one that came out more than a decade ago? Yeah, that was the new one.
Yeah.
We are retro, guys. We play old games.
I think it's just crazy. Like, for example, like just right now, the perfect example right now, you're saying that Trilogy was like, not to mention Trilogy was like Joel played it for like 30 minutes. How long does it take to complete Battle Pod?
15.
Yeah, 20. Like tops.
Yeah, so it's like a really fast game.
It's like the newer games now. I feel like for example, like Terminator.
You did, Israel. You did.
I did Terminator on the analog guns over there, and I'm like, wow, this fucking game is a quarter eater. Like you can't You cannot like perfect.
No, I just played Halo, and Halo is a quarter eater, but I mean like not like it's difficult. Like no, it's impossible to not get hit.
Impossible. That's the word. Yes, it's impossible.
Yeah. Like you actually shoot these guys, and it's like you can get hit less, but no matter how good you are, you can't not get hit.
That's how they make money.
It's a setting, guys. Dude. It's a setting in the service menu that says how much minimum play time do you want to give the customer, like 3 minutes or like 6 minutes. It's settable, and
it's like
there's some, and certain arcade PCBs also have difficulty settings inside the service menu too. Like Double Dragon has a hard mode.
Yeah,
Double Dragon has a hard mode. Cruising USA has a hard easy mode. What else has a hard and easy mode? I think Trilogy has a hard and easy mode too. You can set the difficulty on it. Sega Model 3 games definitely have a difficulty setting inside them. But imagine playing like Cruising USA and you set it to easy and you're always coming in first. You're not going to make money off the arcade.
Cruising, I remember playing Cruising in the arcades. You could be first the entire time, but the last 5 seconds.
Oh, they get you.
Rubber bands. It's a rubber band effect. It's like, nope. It's like if you hit that one oncoming car, like that's it.
They do that on Cruising Blast on Nintendo Switch. It's like, you motherfuckers.
Yeah, it's a rubber band effect. That's rubber banding. But yeah, it's just I was like, wow, like you could literally headshot all the people on Terminator Salvation. And I'm like, wow, you still will die.
Yeah, you'll still die. Yeah.
Wow.
It's crap.
Now today I went real quick to round 1 and I finally played the new NBA Superstars.
Any good?
I don't know what they did with the buttons, but for you to I guess swipe the ball, you know how like an NBA jam you could jump to block.
Yeah.
For you to swipe, it's double tap the turbo button.
That's weird.
And I'm like, who the fuck made that? Yeah, I'm telling you, I had turbo to push someone. Or what?
That's dumb as fuck.
It's so stupid. And the other button I kept pressing, which was what I'm accustomed to for the swipe, is the guy jumps in the air to block. I'm like, what is happening? But it was kind of weird. It was 1 credit gave me half of a game, so 2 quarters. I was like, interesting.
Oh, that reminds me. Wait, I was just looking up. We're talking about let me share a screen here. Share screen. Here we go. This was fun. We're talking about difficulty settings on these old games. Wait, am I showing? Here we go. This is Xenophobe. When I first got my first Xenophobe, I was getting my ass kicked. Insert coin to continue. To hell with that. Let's bring up the manual. Let's find the dip switch settings to set this fucker to easy. Click. Look how simple this is, guys. So easy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Be careful. Don't hit any but that one. That was easy.
The other one. Now, I learned from Brad that basically Xenophobe has no end. It's just it goes right. It's just forever.
Well, that's like saying Pac-Man had no end. It was right. It was a points-based game. But Xenophobe, this was so cool, guys. I got a Facebook back and forth with the guy who invented Xenophobe and later Rampage.
I remember that.
Yeah, and it was funny because he kind of confirmed that when Xenophobe it had to ship, it wasn't done. And so in Xenophobe, you're running around shooting monsters and clearing the bases and getting points. But when you're picking up little things, they're like disc and bombs, and they all give you more points. And he's like, well, they were all supposed to do something. Like the disc was going to unlock another room, and the key was going to set the bases self-destruct. And we ran out of time. In fact, we so ran out of time that it's a high score based game, and there's no leaderboard, and it doesn't save any scores after you turn it off. And that's how it is out of the box. And I was like, hey, that's right. It's a high score system with no scoreboard on it. So that's, you play like Pac-Man and you want to put your initials in. There's no initials on Xenophobe.
Wow.
Well, it's like playing Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong, the original PCB, had no high score saves.
Yeah, you had to write down your score. Yeah,
exactly. It's only until you get the new boards with the emulated ROMs on it that you can save your high scores to it. You have to get
the high score save kits for Centipede and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And but it's just funny. when I was talking to it was Brian Collins, his name, and I was talking with him on Brian Collins and on Facebook, and when he told me, I was like, well, yeah, no, it was supposed to have things like extra rooms and points, and it was supposed to have a high scoreboard, and we just ran out of time. So,
wow. Now, wouldn't it be let me ask you something real quick, Brett. What would happen if somebody remade the game?
Oh, like you're seeing a lot of that stuff like with old Atari games, like Reloaded and Reblasted and whatever. You've demoed a lot of them on your channel there, Vic. So if somebody were to make a like Xenophobe remastered, it would be I would hope that they would just actually do the stuff that Brian and his team originally had envisioned. But really, what it would turn into a survival horror game like Alien Isolation that you're on the space station with. They would go completely over the top with it. So.
I was like, oh, like you're saying right now, like the guy actually said, like we just ran out of time. Like, this is a perfect opportunity for some developer to say, hey, we'll finish the game for you. We'll bring it to current gen.
The game was originally, it takes place. It's aliens on space stations and stuff, but originally it was it was more Indiana Jones style. It was like ancient tombs and zombies and stuff. But the original game was 3 players that were all split screen, where they could all go into different rooms or the same room. It was the first game that had cooperative split screen in it. So that they retained the cooperative split screen, but they rethemed it because space is hot right now. So they decided to do like an homage. There's jokes to Star Trek in there. There's jokes to aliens in there, and they just went with the sci-fi theme.
It's based off the Alien and Xenophobe.
Oh yeah, 1000%. The aliens had just come out. So the second Alien movie had just come out.
Can we talk real quick about Alien Earth?
I'd love to. It's the new Alien TV series that's coming out this summer.
Oh, really? Oh shit!
Did you see the trailer where they talk about the 5 species?
I did.
Did you notice that one of them could be the squid from Prometheus?
Oh, from Prometheus, really?
So you remember in Prometheus where she gave birth to the squid thing?
Yeah, the white thing. Yeah.
Right. In that trailer, they show kind of like a squid thing squirting around in the incubator. So, I'm curious, how the fuck did you find 5 of the most dangerous species in the cosmos?
I saw somebody complaining that like how did these people capture the 5 most dangerous?
I'm curious. I would love to know the story on that.
Do you remember in 2015, The Force Awakens came out and Han and Chewie are just casually transporting Rathtars, which apparently are these man-eating monsters, and they just happen to have like, wait, where's the movie where they caught that?
In a whole new ship too, by the way. They don't even have the Millennium Falcon anymore.
A ship that's 20 times the size of the Millennium Falcon, and they just leave it there.
So I don't really
getting off top.
I'm curious how they got that, but I don't really care because we're 90s kids. We're 80s kids, right? They make movies and they gave us no explanation to some of that shit. But I thought it was cool that we got to see the glimpse of that squid creature because that thing was badass.
The glimpses are I take all glimpses with a grain of salt because so also what came out was the trailer for the new Predator movie coming out in November.
So excited.
And that you have a glimpse of another trophy wall, like the famous trophy wall from Predator 2, where you saw the alien skull.
So this Independence Day alien,
and you see the head clearly. It's the head of one of the aliens from Independence Day. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. I bet you it's a little Easter egg that you see for a split second. They put it in the trailer because they know we'd freak out over it. So like, these little splits you see in teasers and trailers, I like them. I love to like theorize about them. I don't expect a lot of the story to hinge on these little like things that we catch.
My biggest thing about Alien Earth is it takes place before Alien.
Yes.
How? That's what I want to know. And I love the prequels. I love Prometheus. I love Alien Covenant. I love the whole David story. It's fucking phenomenal. David made the alien. I love it.
No, Prometheus he didn't make the alien. He just
David enhanced and generated. He made the face sucker.
Yeah, he made the face sucker.
He made a alien. So it's now been so the general consensus now is he didn't make the alien because
it was a war weapon, right? It was a war weapon.
Yeah. So the big thing is that there were some aesthetic differences between the aliens that you saw in Covenant that he made and the ones we know from the series. But there's been aesthetic differences in the aliens for every single movie. Every director's like, hey, let's tweak them a little bit. So a lot of people chalked it off to that, but other people pointed out that in Prometheus, before Covenant, before David made the alien, there's a depiction of the alien on the wall in the ancient,
Oh yeah,
pyramid.
that's right. That's
And
right. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, well, he didn't make it because there was already one there. So he made, there's a whole
He modified it.
yeah, there's a whole rabbit hole. They all got to the same place.
Oh.
They just, the end goal was make monster, and he also reached end goal, but not the first one to do it.
No, David, it's like us. He's a retro modder. He took something that's old and he modified it.
Look at it, and the little alien is like, "Hey, Dad," and David's like, "I did this. I made it."
You caught in the Badlands trailer, you caught the Wayland Yutani references and leaks in there.
Yeah,
no,
well,
I mean we have the same, but then there's a Wayland Yutani ship.
Well, Dakota Fanning's a Wayland android. Her eyes roll back and it's got the Wayland logos on her eyes.
Right.
Yeah,
dude, I can't wait for this.
I'm pretty excited.
Trailer right now. I'm just seeing Guru so far.
Oh, dude, the guy that did Prey is doing Badlands, and Prey was a fantastic Predator movie.
Well, that's the thing, is that Prey did so well that it was like, oh, you guys could have released this theatrical. You chickened out at the last minute and put it on Hulu because quarantine, and they just made it for Hulu. And like, you guys could have made some money. So and Romulus, Alien Romulus, was being made for Hulu when Prey did so well. They gave more money to the production for the new Alien movie. It went theatrical, and they gave the guy who did Prey money and said that your next Predator movie will also be theatrical. So
I don't think Romulus did so good in theaters though, but
it didn't do bad. It wasn't a flop. It was profitable, but it did, considering the setup that they had gotten from all the people said that it had Prey been in theaters, you would have made all this money. They didn't make the level of money on Alien that they were told that they were going to make.
Right. But for the at home release, they have been capitalizing on that without a doubt, because that's one of the fucking best Alien movies that's been made in years.
The bar wasn't high, but yeah, no, it wasn't
high. No, but come on, it's fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic.
Three, it kind of went to
Vic,
shit.
you gotta watch these, man. Like I know you don't really watch. I know you're not a big movie guy. I get that.
I know I'm not, but I gotta watch. Can't lie.
Yeah.
Me and the wife have
as far as the home media releases, Alien Romulus
the VHS
release, which is amazing.
Well, you open how pristine the box is. It's like you haven't even touched it. That's insane.
He can seal that. That's not a big deal.
And you put your mouth on it.
Okay, now it's worse.
Glue. What's real quick, because you only have about like 8 minutes.
Oh shit! Yeah, Joe gotta go.
Oh yeah.
Do you know where Brad's mouth has been in the last year, and now it just went on that box?
Well,
Shrink wrap is fine.
How are you going to Galaga Guy?
I'm just gonna click out of here and go to Galaga Guy.
Okay, cool. Because
you guys can keep streaming. I'm just gonna click out.
No, I'm good.
Because we're streaming Brad's channel, and we're
fill in our remaining audience with what's going on. What stream's coming up? What's going on tonight?
Yeah.
Tonight, Joel will be going on OnlyFans. He will be doing the Mr. Clean fetish.
I'm going on Galaga Guy's stream. It wasn't originally planned for me to go on it. I contacted him about a week and a half ago, him and GI Joel, and I was like, hey, because we tossed around the idea about the GIJOEL Riser and talking about it and stuff like that. So I was like, hey, I presented the idea to Galaga Guy. What do you think about giving away a GIJOEL Outrun Riser? Since it's like his new thing that just came out, and it's not really getting a lot of airplay and around the community. So I'm like, I want to support fucking third parties. I want to do all that stuff, right? And I like Joel. Joel's fucking awesome. And I like Galaga Guy. All the AA guys, I got a huge respect for all the AA guys. Those dudes are really great. So I'm like, Double G, how do you feel about giving away a GIJOEL Riser on your show? And he's like, hell yeah. I'm like, okay, let me talk to Joel. Let me see if he's down.
Are you going to have, is GIJOEL going to join you?
He's not. No, GIJOEL, it's his Friday nights are with his kids. It's his game night with his kids. And so he's not going to go. So I contacted Joel and I messaged him and I'm like, hey man, would you be down for, giving away one of your risers? I'll take care of the cost. And, we give it away on Galaga Guy's show. And he's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm like, just let me know how much. I told him, and he told me how much. I paid him for it, and including shipping. So shipping's all covered for anybody. And if it goes over the cost of shipping for somebody, I'll take care of the rest of it. And then Double G asked me the other day if I wanted to come on his show because of the giveaway. And I was like, yeah, of course. Like, I'll come on the show. It was actually yesterday, I think it was, that he was. It was when we were contemplating today's show, and then he messaged me at the same time and asked me if I wanted to come on. And I was like, "Yeah, I'll come on the show no matter what."
Well, I mean, I want to give you a shout out, Joel, because that's solid for what you do. Because you do it a lot. You do a lot of giveaways.
I like doing giveaways. I do. It's my way of giving back to the community and saying thank you. I mean, the community really paid for it, honestly, because it's the money that I've got in profit from the arcades that people have purchased from me that I'm using to purchase this to give to somebody in the community. So I have done a lot of giveaways. I like doing it. It's just I like giving it. I really like it when like somebody in the community who's not really in the streams or they're not really known, they win. You know, it's a good feeling for them.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not only supporting somebody in the community to get something for free that they probably would never have an opportunity to get for free. It's supporting somebody else's company, which I'm a very big fan of doing, as you guys know. And then it's also supporting somebody else's channel who likes to stream and is a pretty cool fucking guy. And both of these dudes are really cool fucking guys.
Yeah.
So let's give back to the community. Nobody else fucking does that. What do they give away? What do they give away? Stream codes? Nobody else does shit like that. No offense, guys.
What, ball shavers or whatever Corner Kid was giving?
Right. The only other person that really gives away cool shit is Sean and Rascal. You know, they give away some cool shit.
And they do it weekly. Like they do it a lot.
They do that a lot too, and I've given away a lot of games on their show where I've just randomly done it. Like, hey, let's fucking give away MK1. Let's give away. I don't think we did Assassin's Creed. I think we did Call of Duty. We gave away on the show. We gave away like a bunch of physical games on that show before that I just randomly in the comments like. I'm just in the mood to do a giveaway. Like, here, fucking let somebody win this. You know, Sean's in the chat. I just realized Sean's in the chat.
Yeah, there he is.
Yeah, Sean's in the chat. Sean's the fucking man, dude. He is the fucking man. Like, I'm trying to get him to drive up here so that we can all go to Cleveland together.
When is that again?
That's in September. And that's if we go.
All right.
Who knows if we go? We go. We don't. No big fucking deal.
And when is AVN in Las Vegas?
AVN? That's the first week. Well, that probably is right around the time of MagFest. If anything, you two should think about coming to MagFest because, Brad, I really want to go back to MagFest.
Yeah, no, Joel and I have to go into the lottery for a hotel room. We're both going to go into the lottery and if we get a hotel room, you guys have to come with us because we were the scouting party and now it was good. It was
fun. Your feet are going to hurt. You're going to have a good time. It's a 24-hour event. We don't have to get hammered the whole time, but we can party the whole fucking time.
Yeah.
And we can stay up. You can go to bed whenever you want. Nobody's going to judge.
So
you do you.
Thing is no go.
Right. So I mean, I don't know. I like giving back to the community. You know, we give back to the community. It's just a way of saying thank you. Is what it is. You know, if I wouldn't be able to do full time this if it wasn't for the community. So
the only thing, like I
feel like I'm doing my part.
as far as the thing with GI Joe, I don't like consider myself as like those arcade one up. Like I think of like Cornercade, arcade one up. Like are they? GI Joe does stuff for like you just said. You're giving away an Outrun Riser. Is the arcade one up? Streaming people promoting GI Joe?
No,
the arcade one
except for AA.
Well, AA in my mind, I love the group. AA is a different breed. That's kind of like where I consider like us. We're home arcade, but we're not arcade one up. Home arcade. I feel like that
we started off there, but we're not there anymore.
I know.
Well, home arcade is also arcade one up, but arcade one up is not all of home arcade. So
yeah, perfect, love it. Right. So it's like I don't know. Like I said, I don't watch Cornercade because to me he's only arcade one up. So like
I won't watch him anymore.
I would just hope that those people are promoting GI Joe, and then just like what you just said, it sounds like they're not.
I can't speak for Cornercade because I haven't watched his show. I haven't watched.
I don't watch his stuff. He watches my
we all know why I haven't watched his stuff, so we're not going to get into that. But yeah, I'll give it to him and like B-Dubs and 19K Fox. They will show some support for even Rexer. They will show some support for some of the third-party companies in the community. They've done it, and they've purchased and they've modded, but I haven't really seen anybody promoting anything for Joel's Outrun stuff yet. And I mean, it's pretty fresh. It's only been about 2 weeks.
Cool.
I've seen them promote his inline risers plenty of times. They've purchased his inline, or they've at least purchased his inline risers, and those are really good deals to get. But as far as the Outrun thing, I haven't seen anybody do it yet. So I'm not trying to be the first and beat anybody to it, but I thought it would be a fun idea to fucking do it.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, why not, right? Fucking it's show support for the third party companies.
Exactly. And when does that stream start?
In 4 minutes.
4 minutes.
4 minutes. Oh shit. Well,
I'm good. Let's cut this off.
Before we bounce, I just want to give you guys a heads up. I will keep you in touch. Hopefully, I'll be showing a video of a new arcade. Hopefully soon. But next weekend, I'm going to be in Los Angeles, and I'm going to getting some footage from Universal Studios. They have the sets from Star Trek Picard only for the weekends in May. They've reconstructed all the sets, and so I'm flying out to see them before they're torn down. So,
are you gonna link up with B in LA at all, or
he's down? I think he's down in Long Beach. So I'm literally just going to be in town for like 1 day.
Oh, okay.
Me and my brother have tickets to the Star Trek event, and
awesome.
So we're flying out just for that. So I'm going to get a bunch of footage and then red eye back home. So
all right,
that is all. Have a safe flight, and I'm going to give Brad a virtual hug.
Virtual hug.
Virtual head rub.
All right, so everybody switch over to Galaga Guy 88's channel. I'm sorry I don't have a link to go there. I didn't figure that part out. But
just go to like YouTube Galaga Guy.
Yeah, just type in Galaga Guy and go to his channel. His stream is going to start in about 2
Galaga
minutes.
Guy for the people who can't spell Galaga.
We'll probably catch you guys again in like a month.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right, my allergies are killing me.
So all right, I'm gonna kill the stream.
All right.
Adios.
All right, have
Later,
fun, guys.
Thank you, everybody.